Welcome to another video, everyone. This video today I am going to show you how I spray all my guns. Each one is different depending on the environment that we play in. This is my son's Spectre Arms SA06. He's going to start playing with us in woodland, so I'm going to do the same paint job that I do on my sniper rifles. So this video is going to be basically a walkthrough, step by step, how to paint it. So what I'll do, I'll take it into the workshop, we'll get it prepped. It needs a bit of a wipe over with some alcohol to get all the grease and whatnot off, take some stickers off. Then we need to tape up the lenses and parts of the gun that doesn't want spray on it, and then we'll get on to the actual spray job itself. So I will meet you in the workshop. Right guys, so I've gone ahead and I have taped up the glass on the sights, and I have taped up the end of the tracer unit so we don't get any paint down the barrel. And this is like there's a flash replica in this, so it has LEDs in, so just to cover that, so otherwise it won't light up when you fire. That is basically it. I've given it a wipe down with acetone, which is like a high grade solvent. I wouldn't recommend using that if you haven't used it before. I just use a rubbing alcohol because acetone can actually strip all the grease oils from your fingers, so if you do use acetone, please use gloves. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the worktop ready for spraying, put some cardboard down, and then we'll get onto it. So guys, as you can see, the gun is on the cardboard. One thing I did forget to say, don't forget to tape your mag well up and make sure the dust cover on your hop unit is closed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with khaki, put a few lines on, and then go over with green, and I'll show you how to do it. So guys, that's the khaki. Now I'm going to go over with a dark green. Go over with another stripes over the back. Remember to keep a good distance from your spray can to the rifle. Don't worry about being too neat, because we're going to go over with all the colours. Just make sure you get into all the little bits. Doesn't matter if you go over your khaki. Say we're going to go over again with your chosen pattern. Just make sure you get into all the edges. Right guys, so that's the base layer done. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to let that dry, we'll turn it over and we'll do the same on the other side. So we'll come back when it's dry. So everyone, I've left it for about half an hour. So now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to do the same again, lined with khaki and green. Try and get your lines the same direction if you can. They don't have to meet up perfectly because I say you're going to swap other colours and stuff too. So now we are going to go back with the green and do the other stripes. Sorry about the noise, got to keep mixing your paint up as you go. So it doesn't have to be perfect, because you're not going to see all these lines once it's done properly. You're going to, you'll see in the next part how I merge the colours in. Please make sure that you do this in a ventilated area as well, guys. Don't want any comments saying that you fainted. Make sure you're getting all the grooves of your sights and everything, your rails. So guys, that's the other side done. So we'll do the same process, leave it for about half an hour, let it dry, and then we'll come back and start merging the colours together. It's been another half an hour, the paint is dry. So now what we're going to do, we're going to merge the colours, and What we're going to do, we're going to go over opposite colour with opposite colour. So where we went over with khaki, we're now going to go over with green, but we're going to do it with a pattern, and we're going to do it so it's really fine. So the can needs to be, the can of spray paint needs to be quite far away. So I'll walk you through it. What I've got, I use a little bit of fern from out the garden for the pattern, and also a little set of leaves like that. Make sure that you have an old cloth handy so you can dab these dry, otherwise you'll end up with paint runs when you're dragging, pulling them off the gun and whatnot, so just keep dabbing them dry. So what we'll do now, we'll go over with khaki, but we'll go over where we've sprayed green on the rifle. So take your khaki, your stencil, and go over really lightly. You just want a really fine mist. Over your green. On the silencers and tracers, it'll look really good. Don't worry about it too much getting coverage, because we're going over with a brown after. So now I'll finish with that colour. I'm going to dab it dry, and we're going to take the green and go over the khaki. So you don't want a lot on. Just enough to give it a bit of a pattern. Make sure you wear gloves as well when you do this, guys, unlike me. So I'll have green and khaki fingers. If you want more definition, go a bit closer to the stencil. So you can just keep, because you're not putting a lot on, you can keep going over it as and when you need it. I like to give my scopes quite a lot of texture to it, like a bit of detail. This is where your attention to detail will come in, because obviously you'll know what you're looking for, what style you want to finish on. So guys, yet again, let that sit. Because we've sprayed it quite far away and there's not much, it'll only take about 10-15 minutes. So then we'll flip it over, do the same, and then we'll go on to the browns. So guys, it's been about 10-15 minutes and the other side has dried, so we're going to do the same process on this side now. Make sure that your leaves are patted dry so you don't get any runs, and we're going to start with the khaki. So start off at a good distance. Once you've done this a couple of times, you'll get quite quick at it. Probably went a bit too much there. But we're going to go over the greens again in a minute. So, right, so now we're going to go over with the greens again. Sorry about the noise, keep shaking your paint. Give your stencil a dab. I like spraying my guns in this method because you know not every gun that you spray is going to be exactly the same. So each one's unique and different. Get a bit more definition on top of the scope. A bit more khaki on that. A bit more green. A bit more definition. Go a bit closer. Right guys, so same process, let that dry for 10-15 minutes and then we'll get on to the browns. So we're back for the next stage. The paint's dried, it's been about 15 minutes. Now we're going to add the browns, and basically with the browns you just add them wherever you want. So I tend to put quite a lot of brown on mine. It is a very dark brown. I tend to not go for really bright colours in woodland because obviously we'll be gilded up, so I don't want them to stick out too much. So yeah, we'll just apply it the same way as you did the other, but obviously put as much as you want on really, but remember you can put it on but you can't take it off, so don't put too much on. Right, you'll notice that I haven't done the grips. What I'm going to do on the grips, just to make it stand out, I'm going to put some mesh over the grips and just spray a pattern. Just like that. So guys, as easy as that, that's the browns. So same again, wait for it to dry, turn around and then do the same. Another tip, just make sure that you leave yourself plenty of time to do this. I mean, even if you have to do it in a couple of sittings, just so you get everything how you want it, because like I say, once you've started it, you can't take colours off, so just get it right the first time and then it'll go all smoothly. So the browns have dried on the other side, so we're going to go ahead and put the browns on this side. Make sure everything's dabbed off. It only took about 5 minutes for the other to dry because we're doing it's such a thin coat, it's drying really quick, and plus you've got the other coats of paint underneath, so it tends to dry really quick. Get some good detail on the suppressor, on the tracer. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and use the mesh on the grip again. Just remember, if you want it more defined, go a little bit closer, but not too close because you'll end up with runs. So what I'm going to do on the butt plate, I'm actually going to spray the mesh on there as well. So the mesh just gives it a bit of uniqueness, really. So the browns will lighten up slightly as when they dry. They do look very brown now, but when the lacquer's on, and I'll take you back, we'll go back inside and I'll give you a close-up of the actual rifle and all the camo. So the next thing, guys, will be the lacquer. I'll walk you through that because it can be quite tricky. So yeah, we'll come back in about 10 minutes. So I went inside, I've had a coffee. I've left it about half an hour just so that I know the paint is dry. The next thing we are going to do is give it a coat of matte lacquer. Now you've got to be careful with the lacquer because don't get it on in clumps, as it will run. It's a bit thinner than the paint. The majority of the gun will have 2 coats. The grips, they will have 3 coats because that's where the paint's going to come off quicker. The paint will always come off your grips, doesn't matter what you use, it's just because of wear and tear basically. So yeah, I'll show you the 1 coat of lacquer. Basically you'll get the grip of it. I won't go through another because it's just more time to put through on the video. So yeah, if you do it quite far away, then it should be fine. It won't look matte to start off with, it will have a sheen but it will dry matte. Make sure you have plenty of ventilation when you're lacquering because it stinks to high heaven. Keep a good distance away. Make sure you get what you can. So you just give the grips. So yeah guys, the main body will have 2 coats. The grips will have an extra coat at the end. Basically turn around the gun when it's dried, same as we've been doing with the paint. And once it's all done and dry, I'll take you back inside and we'll have a close look at it. So everybody, we've been in the workshop, we sprayed it up, all lacquered. We can now take all the protective tapes off. And there is a finished product. I will do a close-up at the end of the video. So yeah guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've really enjoyed doing it. I always like spraying up my rifles. Hope you have fun with it too. I hope you have an absolutely awesome Christmas and a happy New Year. and I'll see you in the next one.